Hey everyone, John here with a quick news update on the giant Nintendo leak. So if you've not heard about this, a bunch of betas and prototypes and source codes for Super Nintendo and N64 games have leaked online. Now unfortunately the matter of how they leaked is illegal, so we cannot show you the images ourselves, but we can describe them at the very least. I do think this is very cool for game preservation and history, but we cannot dance around the legal issues here. It's also worth noting that some personal details and information on employees has not been scrubbed and is out there, so it's quite scummy for that alone. But anyway, let's go into the interesting parts. So in the source code for Animal Forest, which is the very first Animal Crossing, there is an unknown villager called Cat 13. People have nicknamed this villager Catty, and it's basically a cat villager with brown fur and quite big lips. This villager never reappeared in the series, so this is their lone debut and they were never used. It also seems there's a Blathers texture in Animal Forest, which is very interesting because neither the museum nor Blathers was in that game. So at one point in development he was likely considered, but didn't make it in until future games. And it seems the title screen for the Nintendo Space World 2000 version of Animal Forest was also found online. However, this is just a JPEG, don't get too excited, this isn't the Space World build. Now Ocarina of Time has a lot of stuff, including an early version of the bottom of the well. This is still quite a dark place, but is missing a lot of the finer details like blood and even the enemies. Beta dungeons have also been incorporated into the game, so those screenshots that we've been seeing for years and years can finally be playable if you have the means to do so. And going through the files in the game, you'll find the following: Zelda Magic Ice, Zelda Magic Fire, and Zelda Magic Wind. These even include models of the magic effects and are theorized to be a medallion magic, kinda similar to A Link to the Past, and I suppose this became, Din's Fire and so on. There's also an old screenshot of Zelda 64, and data miners have managed to find a great look at one of the models in that game, one of the NPC models. This is a pretty basic female character, but it's still very cool to get this very in-depth look at history. Now to kinda link these two games together, in Mario Kart 64's data, people found this big sprawling town, and for a while it was believed to be the prototype castle town, but it seems that is not the case at all. The town model can now be fully loaded, and it's very clear this is not Castle Town. This is instead a brand new cut city track from Mario Kart 64. If I had to guess, it might be a battle arena because it's very closed in with a bunch of buildings everywhere. It doesn't seem like it would be a great racetrack. And in Mario 64, two beta bullies have been found. One has a big horn on its head, so it's kind of like a unicorn bully, and the other one is more like a robo-bully, with these kind of like mechanical looking legs and arms. It's very strange. There's also a very simple prototype pipe, which is obviously replaced with the one in the opening. And on the same wave of that, there's a treasure chest. Now Mario 64 did have treasure chests, but this one is massive, it's huge. And it's also yellow and red, opposed to the more neutral and natural colours of the ones in the final game. Now let's revert back a bit to the Super Nintendo. Yoshi's Island has quite a bit going on, including a beta version of Yoshi's Island. This is the same island you'll see on the title screen, but it's looking a lot more frosty. Actually, it kind of resembles the final tropical freeze world. They've also found a new transformation for Yoshi, and one where he just kind of blows up. It's hard to say whether this was actually meant to be a gameplay element or just for testing, but yeah, Yoshi literally transforms into a bomb and just explodes. Sticking with Mario, Super Mario World has some new sprites for Bowser, one of them facing directly at you. And now it's very weird to me that all these Bowser sprites exist outside of the clown car, but Mario Maker still went with an entirely new sprite. Like, they could have just used these beta ones if they really wanted to. And in Mario All-Stars, there's a file called Mode 7, and what's very strange about this is there's a picture of Toad smoking. I am not surprised this was cut. Alright, just two more. Super Scope 15 has been found, an unreleased sequel to Super Scope 6. This was planned to release in 1993/1994 and have mini-games based on Wild Gunman, Hogan's Alley, and Gumshoe. And on the topic of new games, there's a Super Nintendo game that's been found called Sleep. And it seems a sleepwalking character mostly just sort of dawdles along the stage, and what you have to do is just shoot enemies that come in their way. So this might have just been a test, it doesn't have to have been a full-fledged game, but it does look kind of interesting. So again, sorry we can't show this stuff ourselves, but it's a very dicey situation. But anyway, let us know what you guys think about these prototypes down below, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain for a lot more on Nintendo, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye!